So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Ignite Network annual event. So this is our third annual event, I think, one in Strathclyde, one at Manchester, and now one here in London. And we're doing this one a little bit differently. So as you see, we've got kind of a workshop this afternoon where we're going to focus on trying to come up with initiatives that the network can help with in diversifying PGR students and pathways. So you can find, if you download from the book, you'll find the agenda. So this is our programme. So I'm Becky Lunn. I lead the Ignite Network, and I'm a professor in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Strathclyde. So I just need to start with a little bit of housekeeping. So the ladies and gents, if you haven't found them, they're on this floor out that way, I seem to remember. Yeah. There'll be refreshments. We have a lot of food, far too much food, so please, please eat. So we've got refreshments that are going to be in the room next door at 11:25, and then we have lunch coming as well. Take some home with you if it's over. So we have much too much. If you need it, there is also a quiet space, which is the room on the right-hand side as you go out into the stairwell, isn't it? The Michael Bishop room. So, and also for the Q&A session, you can join Q&A. I presume you're running this, are you, Claire? So on Slido, you can put questions onto that, and we also have a microphone, so whichever you would prefer. And please feel free to post on social media as well as we go. Okay, so I'm only going to be here for a couple of minutes because it's not my day. So just a quick reminder of what we're doing under Ignite Plus. So we have activities that we had built into the research bid, and you're going to see some results in this session from a selection of those. And each of those were run. These are the universities that are in the core part of the network, that are part of the management group. And then we also have a number of projects. Each university has a kind of core project. And then we also, most of our funding has gone, though, to flexible funding. So around half the network funding has been allocated as part of flexible projects, and that was sort of what we were wanting to achieve in the first place. So these are the flexible funded projects. So we had a round in the first year, so where we ran the round in 23, but the project started in January 24, and we have one that's held over to April 25, just because the staff members moved universities. So we've had 2 staff move universities on it, which has made it a little bit tricky to organise. But we had a round for EDI projects that happened in the first year, and then we had a second round last year of EDI challenges. Those have all been awarded as well, and you'll hear a bit from each of these. In some cases, it's what people have achieved already in their project, and in some, it's what they're going to do, so depending on where they are in this process. So these are the second round that were funded of projects. So they're all for 20k, the flexible funded projects. And then we also ran a round that was tied to a workshop for increasing the number of people that were what used to be PIs, and I'm trying to think what it's called now, project leads now, isn't it? So project leads in energy research projects. So we ran a workshop that was residential over 2 days to support people in putting bids together, and then we had a sort of funding competition at the end of that. So these are slightly larger projects, £60,000, where all of the leads and co-leads in the projects are from underrepresented backgrounds in the EPSRC portfolio. And we funded 4 projects in the end that met the kind of quality threshold. We would have liked to fund slightly more. So to try to make sure that we could improve the quality threshold for the projects we got after the workshop, we've also used some of that funding to run a very intensive coaching and training program on grant writing for people from underrepresented backgrounds. And that's proving very popular. The feedback we're getting from that has been very strong. It's very focused on how to write in detail, on how the techniques and how to craft and write bids. So that's ongoing. At the moment, it started in April and it finishes in June. And it's a mixture of groups and one-to-one support in bid writing, and everybody has a deadline and a proposal aim at the end of that they will submit to one body or other. So at the moment, we have our network membership. We now have over 407 individual, associate and full members, and you can find information on our members on the web pages. So this is just a few of them. So we're growing, still growing as a network. And just so that you know what our demographics look like, this is our age demographic here. So most members are between 30 and 40, 30 and 50, sorry. But then I guess most people in work are probably between 30 and 50 as well, so fair. And then we have a scattering at the top there of younger and older members of the network. I sit up in one of those things somewhere, unfortunately. And then ethnicity we have on your right. So we have approximately even white or white British and Asian British membership. And then smaller numbers of people who either didn't respond or black and black British and some mixed heritage. So, but smaller numbers. In terms of gender, again, fairly even between slightly more women, female members than men in the network. And sexuality, again, more straight or LGBTQI plus is somewhat less. And then quite a large number of people who haven't declared. So we have a broad demographic. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking at this point. So the initiative, the sort of researchy side of what I've been doing, Marco's going to talk about later, so I'm going to stop at this point and what we've been doing, not talk about what we've been doing at Strathclyde, and move on to our guest speaker.